So along with the new soil systems and crates and all, I guess I should just back up a second and talk about some different container options. So these are air pots. These are basically, they roll up, as you can see, becomes a pot. It's got a insert bottom that goes in, and these little blue clips clip it all together. They air prune the roots very efficiently. You can grow very nice plants in these, and you can certainly propagate very nice plants from these. But the thing you got to ask yourself is, are they efficient, right? And the answer to that is no. When they're apart, there's 3 different pieces to keep track of. And every time you take a plant out of them, you have to take them apart to get the plant out. So while there are a lot of advantages from a root pruning perspective, there are a lot of disadvantages from a management perspective. So these are going as I go over to the new crate system here, just for comparison. You'll also notice that those are round, which makes them difficult to manage, and you lose a lot of floor space that could be filled with soil and plants and root space in having that space in between round pots. So that various size round pots becomes really oddball for organization. So now what we've got is a nice rectangular crate system. We'll be able to fit 3 crates across each 5-foot wide section in the grow tent. And then they're big enough to be a living soil system by themselves, but small enough to still be portable and sort of plug and play. So we can pull them out, move them around, change things very easily. And when they're not in use, the tops fold over and they're stackable. And I got another system coming later. It'll probably be midwinter, maybe even early spring. I'm going to build some propagating systems out of these same crates, and we're going to make those stackable and portable and plug and play interchangeable as well, to make a system that really works efficiently and easily. Anyway, so that's containers. One other comment about containers while we're on it. I do like these little 6-inch size pots. These are great, especially like these. Well, this one's pretty old now, but these were pretty durable, nice pots. That slippier plastic I found was nice for slipping plants out of them easily. But these are good for starting stuff in when you want to kind of stay in a small space and see if something will take off or germinate and not have to dedicate an entire larger space. These trays are nice for spring starts. These are nice for mass starts of stuff. We'll get into all that. But anyway, air pots are going. So that's why they're going. These were given to me by a friend. Had I bought these, I would be heartbroken because these things are crazy expensive. Anywhere from like $15 to $50 a piece, I think. And there's probably 100 here. And I put them up for sale on Facebook Marketplace and didn't even get a bite. So I don't know. I'm just going to junk them. Off they go. It's a shame. Anyway, onward. So, day 2 under the Spectrum X and Y lights by Metagrow. Already observing explosive growth here on the ginger, Texas tarragon, even the holy basil, even though it needs water. Explosive growth on the sweet potatoes. We got figs developing. We got new leaves growing. Tomatoes are recovering and very healthy, happy looking leaves. And keep in mind, folks, we haven't done any amendments here yet. We haven't got into good soil yet. We're still in the old soil system. This is just a light and environment change. And we got flowers popping all over this lemon tree. And I'm still in debate. I was going to do some pruning, but do I do some pruning or do I let it flower through and power through, and then we'll do our pruning and soil upgrades in the spring? I don't know. I feel like I probably should do the pruning up front and get it clean and fresh soil amendments and get it set up, and then let it roll from there. And then there's our 5 remaining good fig copies out of 7 we took. This one I'm probably going to ditch because it's not doing very well. And if you know anything about critical points of influence, the earliest points have the most effect on yield, quality, health, plant life, etc. Alright, just a quick update here in the old 10 by 10. So I mixed these up on Sunday. It's Friday. So, about 5 days. They've just been sitting out here. We're getting cold at night. We have been getting some sunny weather. Not super warm in the daytime, but warmer. These are the 5 that are out here still. Last night I brought the other 8, I think it is. Yeah, 8 in to warm up. They're not in the grow tent yet, but they're in a stack. Maybe I'll throw a shot in here on that. But just thought I would do a quick update. Just a quick update. Some soils are in, warming up. Plants are happy. Lights are on low power. Love it. Well, you know, in case I didn't have enough things to do, I got some turmeric to separate here now. It's pretty well dried down, so I'll have to go through and shake off soil and break out roots and go through the clippers and clip stems down clean, and then we can finish drying it out a little bit more and get rid of this box on the floor, because yeah. Anyway, just thought I'd do a quick update. Step 1, back in. Step 2, pour some more soil, fill in the edges. There we go. A little top up, a little bottom up, a little edge up, and a little leg up. And I think what I'm going to do with this guy is pop this off, and we'll see if this is rooted or not. If it has, we'll put that into a planter, and that's from my friend Ted, who's wanted an olive tree for quite some time. Wasn't it Gangstar said we all must face a moment of truth? Did we get roots? We got like sort of kind of nodules, but no roots. I'm sorry for the horrible camera work. Yeah. So no, not as of yet. So maybe we'll just tuck this back down, and yeah, we might have to rethink that. Yeah, so it goes. All right, that's a good foot sort for tonight. Got those holy basil into that planter. Probably come back through here in a little bit and give it watering to the lemon. Probably to the olive, and definitely to the holy basil. But hey, you know, there we go. Nice to be working back in a nice controlled environment. Summertime when it's cold out. It is cold out. It is 50 out right now. 9-mile-an-hour wind. Well, 9-mile-an-hour gusts. Yeah. So, Nice to be inside where it is 73 and 59. Somebody just found a nice big juicy worm in the leaves. Alright, so we got the next level of processing done. Turmeric is all processed down. So there's a little bit of dirt in with these roots, but that's it. This is pretty much just solid turmeric all through. So I'm probably not going to weigh it because I don't feel like super cleaning it down, or I don't really care. We got a ton of it, so that's the answer. And some of this I might save to transplant, and some I'll probably share, and some I'll use myself. But yeah, pretty cool. Guess we'll have a look-see around the old grow tent here. Let's see, it is November 7th, I think, or 8th? 8th, November 8th. Things are coming along well. Very happy to see flowers blooming. Got to get a nice sniff of this morning before I went to work. Many more flowers coming on the lemon tree. I mean, you know, since now we can monitor CO2, let's add some CO2 and see what happens. Just to see that the monitor is actually accurate on some level. I don't know if I could navigate my glove into this bag. There we go. Just drop a couple pieces in here. That should do the job. Let's stick the rest of this back in the freezer for now. I guess I should put this up on the shelf where the disturbance fans will distribute it nicely. Just a moment. Yes, we are forming a thick fog, aren't we? We'll just go up somewhere nice and high like that. Because we know carbon dioxide falls, it's heavier than air. And so now it'll fall out of that bucket and right into the stream of the fan and the humidifier, which we'll even throw over this way a little bit. And our sensor, I guess our sensor should probably come in a more fair position. How about we put our sensor about how about right there, down low but in the air intake side of the thing. Alright, just an experiment. And here we are about 10 minutes later, holding about 965 as opposed to 600 and change or 550 something before. So that works. So here we are in the grow lab. Got these sweet potatoes that were in with a couple of other plants over the summer. I just stuck them in there for lack of other places to propagate sweet potato into. They had some good foliar feeds. You can tell by the leaf size. These guys had monster leaves. Some of those foliar feeds had higher amounts of iron, copper, zinc, molybdenum, boron, manganese. Anyway, I brought this bin back in about 2 weeks ago. The soil was still cold and they were kind of just chilling, but we got the new lights up and we got the environment dialed in nice and sweet in here, sitting between 72 and 80 degrees depending whether it's a daytime or nighttime cycle. And these are starting to bounce back, but I thought we would take a look at them and get them out of this crate and into the new crate, possibly harvest off if there's some stuff to harvest, and then propagate out from there. Anyway, I thought I would share a little clip. I mean, you know, I gotta be honest, I'm getting older. I don't want to mess around. I want to farm around and find out. So let's do that. There we go. That's what we got. Real quick, like, these must have been, I think these must have been some of the redder varieties. So those are nice. I'll make something nice with those this coming weekend. Yeah, that one's not really filled out yet, but you know what? We'll yoke it anyway. No, actually we won't. We'll save that as part of our propagation vine. So there's one. There's one. There's one. There we go. That's most of it. Boom, we're out of the old soil. We're going to pull one of the new soil crates, which is Pro Mix and Kiss Organics nutrient pack. It was pre-mixed about 10 days ago or so. Should go a little longer, but I want to get on with it, so we're going to get on with it. So there we go. I'll drop one of these crates down and we'll drop into it. Yeah, so I'll just point out quick in these crates, like I said, these were mixed up about 10 days ago. I tried to blend it uniformly as I could, but if you've ever mixed soil, you realize how difficult it actually is to blend uniformly. What I need to do is get another cement mixer, but we'll get to it. Meantime, we can see some biology and fungal activity taking off. One of these other crates I was looking at had a lot more, I think. Actually, might be this guy, yeah. I just wanted to show and see those fungal networks expanding out. Give you a good close-up of the fungal activity starting here in the bin. So the Living Soil program is starting up very nicely so far by the look of it. Okay, so I went into the new soil crate. I basically just dug down and buried that small tuber here and the other two in two different spots here, the other two rooted points. Kind of curl the vine back against itself. I'm going to stick this over somewhere in the corner over there probably, where it'll get good light, be out of the way. Probably give it a good soaking with some water. Maybe even possibly, well, I doubt I'll do a foliar feed just yet. Got to get used to this soil first. Okay, and this is the leftover soil from that, which we're going to recycle. We're going to amend it with Kiss Organics, and then probably stick it out somewhere and let it cook over the winter. But yeah, so there's one. Next, we got to have a look at the ginger. This one here, I'm just going to amend slightly, and I'm going to top the soil up in here a little bit, and that's about it. This is thyme, and this is Texas tarragon. This I just rooted in a few weeks back, and so it's just starting to jump back now. The thyme is at various stages, but all taken in various places. So the idea on this is that you can trim it back so you have the herb to use, and every time you trim it back it bushes out more, and eventually this container will become a green bush of thyme with Texas tarragon growing out the top of it. So you have this herb bin that you can perpetually spin to the light and harvest from. That's the theory, at least. Alright, so here we are. Got some ginger. It's in a round pot. if you recall, we're doing away with round pots. So we're going to look at alternatives, or possibly just harvest this off, because that whole pot over there is way overplanted, monumental amounts of ginger to propagate from. And then there's some over there, and there's one sticking out of the pineapple, and I don't know, there's probably others hiding around. Anyway, ginger. So I'm going to bump this out. We'll have a look at what's in here. Judging by the happy, healthy foliage on top, I think we're going to have some nice ginger rhizomes underneath. Well, dipsy dandy doodle. There is some ginger in there. Some pretty nice ginger in there. But not very large or mature yet. So my thought is we plug this into a crate and let it grow out. It'll be in good super soil and super light, and in a few months we should have some nice big ginger rhizomes doing that. So I think that's what we're going to do, rather than harvest and nip it in the bud, so to speak. And I don't want to break it up too much. It's got good root structure and a healthy root base, but you can see it's a little bit root bound. So we'll just score up the roots a bit so they know to look around a little more. And then we'll drop it in one of these other crates. Bickety bam. Cut out a hole in the soil with the old scooper. Boom, boom, boom. I'll backfill with that. And they're transplanted. And they'll go under the light as well. Yippee-ki-yay. So there we go. Healthy, happy ginger and some fresh soil mix. This ginger is going to go back over in here. But I'm going to prune this olive back a bit first. It's a little too tall. So what do we got here next? A couple of tomatoes. They've been in the infirmary. The San Marzano, which that stem looks dead. But that may not be... Well, we'll dump the bucket out and investigate. Some of this may be one of the San Marzano, because I know I didn't grab just one little piece of stem. Anyway, the other one of the Reisentraub tomato, kind of like a cherry tomato. I found they had pretty good flavor over the summer, even in the woods, in the bush, with limited light and love. So I brought clones of both of those in. We'll see what survives. Whatever doesn't, of course, we'll start over from seed and rock and roll right from day one. Got a new mix of soil right over here. This is only about quarter strength of normal mix for starting seedlings in. Just made that today. I'm going to let that cook for a while, but then we'll have nice soil even for starting seedlings, so we can have good nutrition in and on those seedlings right from the very get-go. And of course, we'll still follow up with inoculants and all that sort of stuff. Alright, let's roll. What do we have here? Well, we got some nice roots. Spreading out, shooting out, and rooting out. Let's see. Is this stem? Wow. Yeah, it looks like we lost the San Marzano. Yeah, that's what that was. That's a shame. Oh well. So we lost the San Marzano. So, knowing that was kind of rotted and messed up, we're going to clip. Actually, I'll probably clip a good chunk of that root right clean off to get free of the other stuff. And the other stuff will go back in that recycle bin, which will go out into one of the big pots outside for outdoor, and it can chill down and stabilize over the winter. So, let me get two hands on this. Alright, you can see I've given it quite the haircut. Cleaned it up a lot. We're just going to plug it into this crate, but we're not going to go in the middle. We're going to go on the edge, more toward the edge, so that we have room for a second tomato plant to fall in next to it. I want to try and run pairs of plants together, even if it is just a clone of this. I like redundancy. Hey, that's all there is to it. So that's the Riesentraub. That makes me want to get right back on starting some San Marzano as soon as we can get to it. Yeah, I want to get tomatoes cranking in here this year. We have the light and the environmental control and the power to do it now, and I can't wait to blow it up. Also, now you can see things are starting to come together here. I suppose by now you're probably starting to have a better understanding of my vision about square crates and the square footage of floor space being fully used and that sort of thing. I'm going to continue transferring plants over to that system. I'm not sure on the figs yet, but we might do something with those too. We might cram both of those into a single crate, just as they're basically propagation stock anyway. And I'm actually looking at those and thinking I could probably take more cuttings of those soon. So we may do that. Got to have a look at things and think them over again as always. But topped up this guy all nice. Gave it a good amendment. Give that a good soaking. Lemon tree here is throwing all kinds of flowers. Sweet potatoes over in the back are doing okay. I should give them an amendment. Rosemary's doing alright. Fig is good. I guess that's it for now. Just that I would share some work in the garden. Thanks for watching. Pharmacy Seeds Network. Cleaning up old stocks. Throwing out some old corn seed. Kind of heartbreaking to throw it out, but it's funny to see. It was popcorn, I should mention. That some of it is popping in the fire. So that's kind of cool. Just throwing one last thrust back at life. I don't want to break them. And look at all the worm casting. Look at the aggregate. Wow. There you go. Northern temperate rainforest floor. Well, here we go with the ginger. I'm just going to dump the whole thing out and sort through it. Look how much space that's going to free up. There we go. Out of the bin, tipped over on its head. Back upright again. So now we can go through and paw apart. Oh. It seems like there is some nice ginger clumps in there. That certainly is. Goes down into here. Yeah, look at that. So, that's nice. And we'll plant some extra rhizomes across to the other ginger bin over there. Well, there we go. All stripped out. A furrow of soil and a furrow of ginger. There's a good amount there, but they were all very small. Not robust, healthy growth like those were. And so I'll probably put some of these in there. Most of the rest I think we'll just harvest out. I don't need that much ginger in this space. Use it for better things. So we'll just give you an overhead view of it here. You can see that the roots aren't all that big. It's nice ginger. They're just not huge. But we got lots and lots of new root shoot growth happening here. So whatever we plant out of these, when it's in good soil, should explode into growth and become big, healthy like that. Meanwhile, the Meyer lemon tree is blooming away. Looks like we got a little jumper spider friend here, so that's cool. Alright. So, transplanted the ginger as promised. Pulled the other stuff out in the crate. Put a fan gently over it to dry it. Next, let's see. We need to amend this soil and that soil. And frankly, a few other things in here. But we'll amend those and then top them up with a little bit of fresh soil just to cover the amendment, because the smell of the amendment isn't great sitting on top of soil. And then let's see, the figs are doing pretty good. We actually have figs coming on. I don't know if you can see those very well there, or maybe here, that one you can see, I guess, and there. So that's pretty cool to see. And lots of new growth popping out of those, even down low. And I got to transplant lemon verbena / ginger. I got to get out of the round pot and into a nice living soil square crate format setup. So, and then there's some seeds to start, but I got to figure those out. Definitely some San Marzano tomatoes are high on my priority list. I might do some sweet corn. Might be kind of fun now that we have the light power and the soil tuning a little better. Well, that thing leaves things a bit different. Got to transplant these. Probably separate the ginger. We'll see. Okay. Stripped out the ginger. I wish there were some nice sized pieces. And the majority of the old soil we're going to go right into another one of the crates of pre-mixed nice soil. Oh yeah. Crack open another case of soil. Just keep cracking case after case after case after case of soil. It's a beautiful thing.